Hi, I'm Western Signalman and I like trains, even those crappy ones. They're awful. So why are we all fighting with each other if we all like trains? It seems a bit daft to me what's been going on the last few weeks. Accusations being thrown around, name calling, all sorts. And this doesn't just stem from one person, this has come from many factions, and I think it's all built up until the final straw broke the camel's back kind of thing. So I thought I'd do a video to actually talk about some positivity in the hobby. Because let's ask the question, why do we do YouTube? Because one of the main accusations does, and I think this is where this has all come from, is that it's all a bit of a grift, an attempt to make money and become a celebrity, which is ridiculous because this is model trains and none of us are becoming celebrity for that. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was at school, if you admitted that you like trains, you were going to get bullied relentlessly because it was just uncool. I'm not quite sure why liking trains meant that you had to be bullied, but that's the rules of school apparently. But why should I be bullied? Why should we be bullying anyone who likes trains? Why are we turning on each other? Because at the end of the day, we all like the same hobby. I like trains, I like railways, I like the history of them, I like understanding how a line got built, why it was there, what it was for, who built it, why they built it, what it did, why certain lines get closed down, how they get revived, the history of locomotives, how they developed. And I like all locomotives. I like steam, I like diesel, I like electric. I just enjoy everything about trains. But I don't feel the need to argue with someone about it. I don't need to feel the need to fight with someone about it. When I put my videos on YouTube, it's because I want to show you what I've done, what I've modelled. Because I don't take my layouts out of the house, I don't exhibit them, but I've worked hours on it, hours, like anyone else, absolute hours. And it doesn't matter if you built it from scratch, or if you bought an old layout and you've refurbished it, done it up yourself, because that, to me, is railway modelling. That is just as good railway modelling. That is preserving the history, which is essentially what we're trying to do, preserve the history, or create our own history, our own world. What if Pendant had decided not to save the Maida Vale Railway, also Maida Vale Railway, I can't quite remember the name of it, but you know which one I mean. What if they decided not to save that? Nah, we didn't build it, go on the skip. It's a lovely little railway, it's a fantastic railway, and one of the reasons it's so important is because it's one of those first whole world created railways where everything's scratch built and the line did something, and it's what is the inspiration for Pendant. So it doesn't matter if you built your own layout, if you bought a layout, it doesn't matter because you're railway modelling, you're doing something with the hobby. It doesn't matter if your painted hill looks like a giant green blob with some sawdust thrown on it, because we all started somewhere. We all need to learn, we all need to develop our skills. No one can go back in time, grab their first layout, or at least maybe the odd person, and bring it to today and tell us that's the best piece of work I ever did. Because we're always developing, we're always growing skill. And that's one of the reasons why we do YouTube. To develop our skills, show off what we're doing, help people learn, show them I did it this way, I did it that way, I've just realised the dog's off the lead and the sheep. So I do YouTube. I mean, is it for the ego side? Maybe a little bit. It's always nice to be told that your work looks good. But if you've never done it, but you're happy to criticise, maybe you could consider how difficult it is to actually get up the courage to put your face on camera. Because it's quite daunting. Even by just doing this, just having your face, you know, on your own little channel, it's still a daunting task. You're still worried about how you look, how you come across. You're putting yourself out there, you're opening yourself up to criticism, and I think anyone who puts themselves on YouTube is aware of that. But that's not why they're doing it. Last 66. Nice. We'll just let that go by. Because putting your face on camera and liking trains can be quite successful for you. You know, get the right algorithm, the right way to promote yourself out there. Look at Francis Bourgeois. I see people make mean comments about him. Why? He's just liking his hobby. He's probably exaggerating it a little bit, but hey, he's playing to his audience. But do you know what? He's probably the only person here who's making money out of trains. Well, maybe Pete Waterman's doing all right. Although it's more music, I suppose. Why do we do YouTube? Well, as I say, it's nice to show off your work. It's nice to let people see what you've done. But it's also really helpful for many people. How many times have we worked on something and not quite sure how to do it? Installing DCC, putting sound in a loco you think is impossible. I'm pretty sure if you look, someone has done a video to show you how to. I know another reason that I do YouTube, and the reason really that I started doing my channel properly was that I actually wanted to get something finished, and doing my 009 build on video pushed me to actually finish the layout, actually get somewhere with something for once, because it was the support of the viewers, the comments, and all the encouragement that spurred me on. Because sometimes you can lose interest in what you're doing. Sometimes you can get frustrated with what you're doing. And putting it online develops this community where we can share, where we can say nice things, where we can encourage each other. And it's so strange that there's these accusations of, well, you're on YouTube, you're trying to become a celebrity. It's always the YouTubers that get attacked. No one had to go at someone for putting up photos of their layout build on RM Web. And what's the difference? One is moving pictures, one is not. It's still the same thing. It's still someone showing off their modelling. Yes, YouTube will pay you to put up your videos, but it's not a lot of money. It's really not a lot of money. I'm not going to be retiring from my current position in MRO anytime soon. We're not going to become Mr. Beast. Not until the children realise that watching people play video games on YouTube is just a complete waste of time, and that they'd be much better off watching someone waste their time building a signal. And that's kind of what we do. It's quite busy around lunchtime. But the thing is, we're not going to become Mr. Beast. And the notion that someone put out there that YouTubers are celebrities is ridiculous, really, in my opinion. We're not celebrities. I'm not walking down the street and people are saying, hey, Western Signalman. Because no one knows who I am. We go to exhibitions, and occasionally someone who views your channel will come along and say, hey, I really like your channel, and a few positive words. And that's really nice. It's really nice to meet people and hear that sort of thing. But to call us celebrities, that's just a bit daft. And the other thing is, what I like about YouTube is I've managed to make some friends. And I've asked them, them to just put a few videos together to tell us why they do YouTube. I'll give you one more try.
So my name's Steve and I'm known as the British Railroader on YouTube. Now, I got into YouTube a few years ago because I really enjoy being able to share my love of trains, railways, model railways, all of that kind of thing with people. I think that our hobby is better shared and that we've got so many more opportunities to do that. I don't really care about how many people watch my videos. I just hope that the people that do watch them enjoy them and they get something out of them.
That was Steve, man of many words there. Now we'll go to George.
Right, okay, James, what do you want? It's not going to take long, is it? Oh, why do I do YouTube? The money, hello. Then what? There's not that much. Well, there must be a bit, isn't it? There's a bit. Well, yeah, at least I could buy a Kit Kat. That is true. Okay, no, money aside, what about the free stuff? We love free stuff, don't we, us YouTubers? Right, okay, so yeah, no, it's nice to have the static graphs, but you're right, it doesn't outweigh the hours and hours of work that goes into each model and also the stuff bought for those models. You are right, it's not cost effective, is it? I could just buy it's still a nice, thoughtful thing, isn't it? Yeah, you're right, it is nice to work alongside other manufacturers and things. Right, okay, so let's ignore the material things. What about the fame? Because I'm really into the fame. You know, at least like Pete Waterman knows who I am as a YouTube celebrity. You are joking. He does know who I am, doesn't he? Brilliant. Okay, great. What am I left with then? Okay. Well, I suppose there's the idea that I'm a teacher by career path, and I really like to help people. I suppose that's a part of it, isn't it? This bit's not a joke, actually. I'm really actually talking about what I do. I do like to help people, and yeah, that comes across on the videos. It's not the biggest part of it, I will admit, but you do get this real buzz when people tell you that they've used your techniques, or they've learned things from the videos, or you've helped them out. I think it's the same buzz that you get when you're teaching and you see someone who's understanding titrations, for example, who struggled with it and they finally understand it. This is the same thing. It's a really good, it's a really good feeling. And yeah, that's one part. Of course, it's not the only thing. I'd like to just cycle round actually to the idea of the free stuff, because I know I make a joke of it, but I'm quite open that I do accept free things from suppliers. But the idea that it sways what I say on my channel, what I think, or anything like that is just simply not true, because I enjoy very specific things, you know, and I will only use kits from a manufacturer who I would use if I didn't have it for free, basically. So a good example of this is if you are a follower of my channel, you would have seen about a year or so ago, I put a little bit of like a photo up and a teaser of a laser cutter that I was sent by an agency. And you might have noticed that didn't actually come to fruit on the channel. You never saw that laser cutter. And the reason was because I built it and I just wasn't happy with it. So I emailed the company. I was like, I'm not comfortable saying this is a good product because I don't personally like it. So I ended up having them, well, I don't know where it is, I think it's in the back somewhere, but I never used it on the channel. I said it wasn't comfortable, so there we go. Whereas people like Alec at Westcliff Works, Danny at 4Ds, they're such fantastic people to not only work with or communicate with. but their products are just amazing. You know, Miniature Modelers Hub. There's loads that I'm comfortable saying. You know, I've had these for free, but I would have paid for them anyway. So it's you know, don't feel like I'm changing what I think just because they're free. But anyway, this is about the positives, isn't it? So a really important thing that I've realised YouTube does for me, which I haven't heard many other YouTubers saying at the moment, is actually the motivation I get myself. I was at Marigage Now at the weekend, and I had somebody ask me, if I didn't have YouTube, do I think I would have got this done quicker? And I was like, no, it's 100% the opposite. It does take time to do the videos, and it does take time to do the editing and things, but alongside working full time and having a family and everything else. But actually, if I didn't have YouTube, I don't think Corish would be finished at this point, because I'm very flaky and fickle with what I do, and I very easily go, oh, I don't want to do that anymore, I'll do something else. And I think I would have quite easily got stuck in that trap again if it wasn't for YouTube and the idea that I had to go, okay, well, I need to do something now. I need to do something now. So whilst YouTube is, oh, sorry, I'll just have a drink out of my merchandise, isn't it? It's nice. It actually tastes better when you pay for it instead of me. Yeah, so, oh no, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the motivation. So like this layout, if you've watched me build this layout, there was a lot of times in there where I struggled a lot with the motivation to keep going. The only reason I got it done was because of YouTube, because I had to keep going, and I thank myself and YouTube for that now, because I have this layout which I'm super chuffed with, and you know, other people seem to like it as well, so that's brilliant. The other thing is, you know, I don't want to play on the autism card, or the AUDHD, I should say, card, which is laminated, that card. But it's quite hard to feel part of something, and you always, well, me personally, I always feel, you know, like you're at a party and you don't fit in. You know, you're like more. I always describe it as being more lonely in social areas than if I was by myself, where I don't feel lonely. And YouTube is something that really helps me personally to not overcome that and help with it, but to feel like part of something. And I've been part of forums, and obviously there's Facebook groups, and they're good. But with YouTube, you know, it's almost like this connection with viewers. And, you know, I know we say, oh, thank you for, you know, please comment. But when you have a comment from someone and you meet them at a show, it's a really quite special thing, and it's not something I think I'm going to give up very soon, no matter how many times I tell myself, you know, I'm struggling late at night because I'm trying to finish the Baldwin, for example, which you'll see soon. But it's a brilliant thing, and I just, if you haven't given it a go and you think you would like to give it a go, do a video, just one, and put it out on a channel, and let people know you've done it, and see what you think, because even the tiny amount of money you get from it, you know, it does help. I don't get much at all, but it's enough to buy, I don't know, like maybe some static grass or some ballast or something every month. I can buy something. It goes back into modelling, which I don't know why that's something people would criticise. You know, if you're a footballer and you do Sunday football, is that they do Sunday football for something godlike football? I don't know. But if you're into that, and someone goes, "You're good at football. I'm going to pay you £10 to do your football," they'll say, "Thanks very much. I'll have the £10 for the football." Or they say, "Oh, you know, you're really good. Here's some shin pads. Is that a football? Yeah, shin pads are a football thing, aren't they? Here's some shin pads," and you'd say, "I will take your shin pads, thank you. I'll put them on my shins, protected," and there we go. So I don't know why, you know, that's not a. This is positive. I'm not going to get into that, because that's for me just is so logical. I don't understand why people argue at all. But what I would say is, helps me with my own, let's say, bad side. Is that the right way to say it? Like my bad negative mental health and things like that. YouTube is one of those parts of my life that really does help me. So I will, I'm going to continue that. And I know it's happening a lot at the moment, people getting criticised and things, but I hope I don't get caught up in that, because I do love doing YouTube and making videos. And I'll tell you what else it's good for, actually, before I just walk off, is if I want to build something that I've built previously and I need to match it, I watch my own videos, because they're an archive of everything I've done and used, because I really hate when I use the wrong types of paints and things like that. So actually, even if you take out everyone else around you, YouTube's a really good way to archive everything. Drop my airbrush. YouTube's a really good way to archive everything that you do for yourself. And with that, I'm just going to walk off the camera and say, cheers.
Peachy also had something to say on the matter.
Hey guys, Peachy here, or better known to you guys as Chris. I'm in my civvies because I don't know which coat to wear, because I make content for two channels: my private channel, PTTT120, and a commercial channel, which is the tabletop corner once a month, TT120 roundup for the TMC. These have developed in different ways, but I think your original question to me was why I originally got into YouTube. I guess now to answer that, I suppose, and I'm assuming this is a reflection of some things that have been happening more recently out there in social media land, and how people have responded to some of those things that have been happening. And so I think I'm hoping my channel's birth is an example of another way of responding to some things that you don't like on YouTube. So let's take the timeline back a little bit. January I think it was the 15th of January, 2023 was when I ordered my first TT120 set. It's back there, little Scotsman set, and then we had to wait a while, and I had to fill that void with what I was going to do. And my son introduced me to some YouTube channels that he'd found, and there's two in particular that I really enjoyed their content. And one of them was Charlie Chuckles from Chadwick, and the other was Mr. Rose from Laurie's Mechanical Minions. Now, those two guys, I still like their content. Bizarrely now, I guess I'm on first name terms with them. Charlie rugby tackled me at the Gets YouTube. When I say rugby tackled, he kind of comes around my waist, sort of, when he comes in for a cuddle. So it feels a little bit like a rugby tackle. And he's still quite a sturdy chap. Right, so, but what was it what they did that I didn't like? And why didn't I then don my Warrior keyboard? Why did I do something different? Right, well, okay, let's very briefly have a look at what it was that was so upsetting. But I've got little notes here. So, I bought my set 15th of January. I was watching YouTube, desperately waiting for my set to turn up. And then the 10th of February of 23, episode 181 on Chadwick Model Railway, Charlie came on and had a conversation about the set, and about the Eastner set, I think it was, and also about his opinion on Hornby's sales strategy. Now, nothing was particularly heinous about any of it. There were a couple of things that subsequently moving forward we found answers for, or have been given answers for. And you don't actually have to agree or disagree. These were Charlie's opinions and thoughts. Right now, that actually riled a lot of people up. And there are a number of people who even today still think that he did a lot of damage to the scale. I don't. I think that's poppycock. That's a politer word that they think something that might get beeped out. I don't think that at all. You know, Charlie it's his own channel. He can say what he likes, and he wasn't offensive, and there was no hatred there. There was part of it where he repeated the frustrations of one of his friends who had a retailer. Remember, back then you couldn't get TT through retailers, and I think some of those points were fair and reasonable. But the one thing you can level at that video is that it wasn't overly positive. But that's about the worst thing you can say about it. It wasn't overly positive, right? So I don't really understand why people are still angry about it. It makes no sense to me. Even though some people have tried to explain it, I still don't understand it. Now, my son, who at the time was 15, he was quite engaged with this idea of using an iPad, and he was the one who said, well, we could maybe, if you build a layout, and it was Camelot we were talking about, perhaps you can do a build series. So my intentions then wasn't for any kind of celebrity status or to become an influencer in any way, shape or form. It was to have a crack at building a little test layout and to and document it. And using YouTube as a platform for it, there was no Machiavellian plan. It was all more to do with the boy's engaged with this. Let's do something the boy wants to do. Those moments are precious and they don't last long, because now he's 18 and a half with his own car, and he's doing really groovy stuff with his artwork, and all the pretty girls want to date him, and he plays his guitar and he's super cool. And so you have to grab those bits, and I did. I grabbed that, and we started a little bit, and he was doing the footage and he was doing the editing, and it was great fun. So that's the 14th of April, 23. Right. We're all happy. April comes, March comes. March is gone. April, May, June, we're all happy. And then July, one of my favourite at the time YouTubers, and he still is, I still like his stuff, was Laurie from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels. Now, what he did episode 21, First Look at TT. Now this was, and if you know Laurie at all, most of his stuff always has an element of a bit of tongue-in-cheek and a bit of fun. That's why people, I think, like his channel and like him. He can be quite sincere, and he is, and the work that he does is excellent. He's not, no one's everyone's cup of tea, but I like his stuff. I like his team that he's got around him. But he brought out this First Look at TT, and it was a complete Mickey take, and he'd bought himself a 3mm old Triang set, but did a serious review on it, because at the time there was a lot of people popping up with these little, right, let's have a look at TT, and I think it ended up being quite popular. I think it's had 17,000 views for a little jokey skit. It's actually worked out quite well for him, I think. Now, I don't think he actually realised, because if you look on the comments, then it really did wind a lot of people up, particularly other TT120 YouTubers who were trying to make content and be taken seriously. All of a sudden, this guy turned, and they're getting 150 views or something, or 50 views, or 10 views, and this guy turns up and gets thousands of views for taking the mickey out of it. C'est la vie. There are still people who are still furious about it. There are still people who are really cross about it, and it doesn't. Again, I find that bizarre. Now, how did I respond to it? Did I don my mighty mouse, and did I get out my keyboard of Dobar and attack this interloper? No, I didn't. No, I just decided that maybe I should do some more serious stuff, and maybe I should push on and try and do some more positive stuff with TT120 that hopefully will mean that one day, if a newbie comes to the scale and goes on YouTube and searches for TT120, they may find me rather than finding Laurie's piss take. And that's probably the biggest driving force behind it. As I said before, subsequently, I've met them both. I've worked with Laurie on the TMC YouTube channel, when we did the what you call it, the challenge. I've had quite a few good chats with Charlie by email initially, and then later on we've had some fun at shows. That's something else that's a little bit bizarre. I've had a couple of selfies with Charlie, and we've had a bit of a giggle and a bit of a laugh, and we post it on social media, and it's just supposed to be sort of like, look, I'm with Charlie, and you know, I'm not a hero worshipper of him. I think he's just an all right bloke who's doing some all right stuff, and I like his photography. But I got some hate for that. By you, oh yeah, all the YouTubers stick together. You're buttering up to, thinking, blimey, guys. Just stop and look at yourself. It's bizarre. So the point I'm trying to make is your response to seeing something on social media that you don't like doesn't have to be an outpouring of your feelings. However much you may feel that you're in the right or the other person is in the wrong, stop and have a think. Are you actually making a difference? Are you actually making some kind of, is it a proactive action that you're doing? Or are you just piling on to this nastiness that just seems to sort of build a snowball upon itself and build up the big huge steaming pile of poo, where people start feeling like they've got to take sides? Because it's ridiculous, and I promise you, once you manage to get it out of your system, whichever way it is, but not online, and then step back and have a look at some of these bun fights, however actually harsh and real it is that's happening to those people, wading in and trying to turn around and say that person's wrong because of this, or that person's right because of that, when in fact there's quite often quite a few nuances. Then when you actually manage to sort of step back and look down at that mud pit of silly fighting, it's quite, I was going to say cathartic, not lethargic. You might fall asleep. I don't know. But anyway, right, questions again. Sorry. I started this for a bit of fun because I really wanted my son to do something with me, and I wanted to engage with my son. I started that because I commercial stuff, as I got popular, commercial stuff was coming into this that people didn't like me being commercial. So since I was working for these guys, we decided to try as much as possible to separate commercial content with just hobby and news. So hobby and news, and that one is, this is what we've got to flog you this month. But in a way, but I mean, even that is a silly thing to say. We're just trying to show people that this is our commitment to TT120, and these are the products that we've got in, and you know, you still have the choice not to buy them or not to buy them from us, but we are trying to get the information out there, try and be as positive as possible. All right. And again, back to my channel. Now I'm doing a bit of, I haven't got my Instagram thingy here. I'm now on Instagram. Instagram's actually been a bit of fun. I've not had anything negative. I guess people just swipe by more on Instagram. Certainly, there's a lot less commentary. You get a few love hearts, and you go, oh, okay, I feel good now. I'll crack on with my ballasting. Anyway, James, is that enough? Yeah, that'll do. Cheery bye.
So while we're on the subject of Instagram, let's talk to someone who does Instagram and doesn't do YouTube.
Hi, my name's Danny. I do various multiple units. I don't do YouTube actually, but I do Instagram and social media. And I think it's important just to say that we're all in this hobby for the love of what we do. And I think it's important that we all respect that, no matter where we come from, what our background is, what our relationship with the hobby is. We're all here for the love of the modelling and to appreciate what one another does. And whether you are great at it or you just enjoy doing it, doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. And I am very proud to be in this industry, or hobby, I should say. I love what I do. I love making trains and I love making units. And like the units themselves, they're all different. They may look the same to the unknown eye, but they're all different. And I think it's important that we respect each and every one as much as we do each and every body. So I'm here to support what I think is a really great show, and to say that this is a great hobby. It's great to be able to share our hobby with everyone and to appreciate what each other do. And I'm not into steam. I'm not into different gauges in the same way that I am to 00, but I respect them and I love them for what they do. And likewise, the people behind the models. So be nice, people, come on. Let's just respect one another and appreciate each other and enjoy the diversity that this great hobby has. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to support this cause and do my bit to say that we have a great hobby, we have a great craft, and we should appreciate each other more.
And we can't forget my friend Tom.
Hello, Tom here from Buggles Kelly Station. Thanks, James, for asking me the question, why do I bother showing model railways on YouTube? Why don't I just keep it to myself? Well, unlike James, I am in it for the fame and the fortune. I can't get enough of being a YouTube celebrity, and I just wanted to go on another Caribbean holiday, next week, so got to get that money coming in from YouTube. But seriously, yeah, I've got a background in media production. That was my degree at uni, and so I've always liked making videos, and I've always liked model making, and so I thought, put the two together and then show it to people, and there's enough people who seem to be interested, so it makes sense to do it. I love teaching the sort of the techniques that I've picked up, and I also love learning from other people. There's so many modelers around the world that we wouldn't know about if there's different techniques from the US, from all over Europe, from different places that we might not necessarily use in the UK, as well as military model making. That's the sort of stuff, they do completely different things, but it can sometimes work for model railways as well. So yeah, there's lots of reasons to be on YouTube. So I mean, one of the main things is I treat YouTube as a big model railway club, basically. So like I said, there are people all around the world, but instead of a local club, which is something I don't have time to do, I wouldn't want to commit to going to a local club because I know that there'd be some weeks I wouldn't be able to make it. Whereas with YouTube, I'm watching videos while I'm working or doing my hobby. I have it on in the background, and I'm also able to produce stuff in my own time. As you notice, I don't put a video up every week or every month. Very rarely actually I can get a video out, but I still enjoy doing it. And as I say, I'm not really in it for the money because there's hardly any money in YouTube, especially model railway YouTube. So that's the sort of the reasons that I do it. But I'd say the most important thing, just to sound a bit soppy here, is the friendships that I've made through YouTube. So I can't remember his name. Oh, James. Yeah, it's your video, isn't it? Yeah, James. And quite a lot of other people. I'm not going to mention everybody. The little guy, I can't remember his name. Little Sam. There's lots of friends that I've made through doing model railway YouTube, and probably 5 years ago, none of my friends in the real world had any interest in model railways at all. So it's always been a solitary thing that I've sort of done, shared stuff on Facebook and things, but I've never made real life friends until I got into model railway YouTube, because we've got things in common, and that always helps. So yeah, that's my answer. That's why I do it, because I enjoy it. And I think if you want to do it, you're thinking of setting up a YouTube channel, don't be put off by comments that you might have heard or read. It's a nice thing to do, and if you enjoy it, go for it. Thanks.
So there you have it. Now I've got to apologise for the wind on the microphone, because I thought this would be better walking around and talking and showing off some trains rather than just me sat in a chair talking to you. Obviously it's a windy day. But there we are. That's a few of my friends that I've made through YouTube and other social media accounts, telling me why we do YouTube. Because it's a great community. I've made some friends out of it. Because if it weren't for that, I wouldn't actually really have any friends who are into model railways. Because my school friends that I still hang out with, we're more a friendship based on our interest in music. I've got people at work that, I'm friends with, but again, our main common factor that we've all got in common is we all work at the same place. We have similar interests and all that, but one or two like model railways, but I haven't been able to make a friendship group like I have without YouTube and socials. So, to me, it's not about making money. It's not about becoming a celebrity. It's about building community, showing off your work, learning, helping others. That's what it's about. That's what it should be about. It shouldn't be about people arguing with each other, fighting with each other. Don't like someone's YouTube channel, don't watch it. You don't need to make nasty comments. You don't need to make nasty comments in their comments. You don't need to send other people nasty comments about them. Because even if you think they're going private, as has been established, someone decides to make them all public. And then everyone starts having a fight with each other. And it's model trains at the end of the day. It's not really worth getting all upset and having a fight with each other about, is it? Really? Seems a bit daft. So, all I can really say is, if you're watching this and you thought about doing a YouTube channel and the events of what's happened has put you off, don't let it put you off. Don't feel that you can't do this hobby, that you can't do a YouTube channel because some other channels have been gatekeeping, I suppose, in a way. If you feel that you don't have the skill to build the baseboards, lay the track, there are companies out there, like my friend Neil, a little layout company, who will build you a layout. Now, if you got Neil to build you a layout and you put it on YouTube, I wouldn't not watch your channel just because you paid someone to build that layout for you, because I'm interested in what you're going to do with that layout. And if you buy a layout from a club who no longer want it, and you decide to put it on YouTube to show us what you're going to do with that layout, I want to watch it. I want to see what you do with it. And if you decide that you're going to build it from scratch, even though you're absolutely horrendous at woodwork, I still want to watch it, because I need a good laugh. But in all seriousness, it's all about trying. It's all about giving it a go. So don't listen to the naysayers. Get out there and show us what you're modelling. That's what it's all about. And when I say love trains, I really love those ones. Oh, can't beat a 68. There you go.